Season after Cass was suspended and did not play the first 3 games. Chris Johnson on the carry, straight ahead. Pinckney brings us the starting lineups from Waikiki Beach. 2nd and 5 out of the gun. They go to Johnson again. Spins his way for a first down to the 44.
To finish off runs.
He added strength and pounds in the offseason. Really helped him this year. Stacked up right at the line.
Talented when it comes to athleticism.
1st and 10 from the 27. Johnson finds a hole. He's patient. Gains maybe 2 or 3. That's it.
Pretty impressive.
Jason Alter, the tight end, in at fullback, just ahead of Johnson. He looks for a block. Skips out to the 21. State. And ECU, which is in its 2nd straight bowl game, facing a team that has grown for the last 6 seasons. Chris Johnson, the all-everything running back, looks for a hole, upended, out at the 25-yard line. And Pinckney still in at quarterback. We've yet to see Rob Cass here on the 2nd series. Johnson bounces out, looks for a hole. There's a face mask as he's brought down at the 24. 4:36 left here in the first. Pinckney still in at quarterback. Chris Johnson bounces off a one. He's still up. Johnson to the outside, has a chance. Foot race, goodbye. Chris Johnson all the way to the end zone, 68 yards. And they're back to their average of scoring drives under a minute. How about one play?
Boise State heard all week about the speed of Chris Johnson, but it's not quite the same until you see it live. Absolutely one of the fastest players in college football.
They've taken advantage of the islands here, had a good time this week before going to work. Chris Johnson with a big touchdown run on the last series out across the 20 on Sunday morning when no one's really got the chance to take it all in on a weekly basis. Johnson straight ahead. He's over 100 yards already in the game before Tim Brady stopped here in the first, and another first down for ECU after the gain of 19. Johnson straight into the line, gain of maybe 2. It's his 900 yards.
A lot of fun things to do for the athletes over the course of the week.
Johnson had the long touchdown run, stopped right at the line of scrimmage, may have fallen ahead. Sunholter, the tight end slash fullback, in motion. There goes Johnson. Flag on the play, though, as he gets down to about the 2.
Ride my bike.
17-7, East Carolina on top. They take over 1st and 10. Chris Johnson's had a big game already. There he goes. Johnson finally brought down inside the 30 at the 28. The quick burst, pretty impressive.
No, he does, and he outran the angles on the first touchdown run, and he outran the angles on that one again.
Well over 100 yards. That's 46 yards on that carry, and he was already over 100 yards.
We talked to the offensive coordinator for East Carolina, Todd Fitch, and he said Chris Johnson is as fast an athlete as I've had in college football, and Coach Fitch has a pretty good background. Some history in the SEC, and Chris Johnson, Boise State, Chris Johnson didn't for a number of years.
1st and 10 at the 17. Johnson wrapped up behind the line.
And our kids were a little bit shell-shocked the first half, but we rallied up and played pretty good in the second half, and hopefully we can start out the game without that, without that intimidation. What a play that is.
They set up the screen to Johnson, and he goes to the end zone again. Touchdown East Carolina, and they have totally dominated this game from the line of scrimmage. Remember, the one score on the board for Boise State was the kickoff return.
That's very surprising.
East Carolina doing a lot of nice things in terms of finding ways to get the ball in the hands of Chris Johnson. Southern Miss and North Carolina in between.
And somehow surviving to come back and win 7 games and go to a bowl. Johnson fights his way to the 26. Also caught a pass and taken it to the house. 7:24 in county here. Pinckney still in at quarterback. The quick out wrapped up at the 29, short of a first down on 3rd. Chris Johnson back at his own 8. Outside, gets away. In great field position again.
They kick it off.
You see only 13 turnovers on the year, and they haven't given it away yet. Boise State has twice. Another first down.
feature their athleticism.
He playing with poise, too, offensively. Johnson dances.
I think we're going to see a run here.
Still get a first down inside the 2. Johnson does run it. It's maybe to the
nose, but I think Boise State on offense may have to get one-dimensional. Get Taylor Tharp in that no-huddle status.
There comes Chris Johnson bringing back the second half kickoff across the 25 to the 26 as we send it down to Janine.
We have got to get some points on the board.
Once they went to the spread, Taylor Tharp looked more comfortable. They moved the ball, they scored, had a long drive, but then they turned it over to ECU, which led to another score for the Pirates on first down. Redshirt freshman from Tucker High School in Stone Mountain, Georgia. Chris Johnson looks for a hole. It closes quickly.
Former walk-on.
Just picked up a 3rd and 5. We'll see what they can do on 3rd and 7. Out of the backfield comes Johnson. He's got another Pirate first down. Quick pitch, straight ahead, spinning still up. Johnson to the 18. Hadman saved the touchdown. And you mentioned on the East Coast, there's no question Chris Johnson is known and one of the top guys in terms of putting up numbers, all-purpose numbers in the country. I think out west, though, not many really know about this guy. Chris Johnson, Special Teams Player of the Year in Conference USA, back at his own goal line. Right at the 20 and dumped there. So Pirates take over 1st and 10. Johnson over 200 yards, a Sheridan Hawaii Bowl record day already back here. 2nd and 10. The pitch to Chris Johnson. Now this Boise State defense coming alive too in the second half. After that first, he took it from Morehead City, North Carolina. Chris Johnson has a hole and utilizes that down to the 32. It's one of those
Picking up the first down.
out of the eye now. Johnson jumps out to it. Look at the athleticism. Chris Johnson with a late flag coming in at the 24.
Boy, he is lightning. Sometimes he doesn't get the ball necessarily north and south, but as we saw early in the football game, Boise State was able.
Number 45 of the offense. 10-yard penalty. Second down will be repeated.
In the first half, but the Broncos have shut down the run game for the Pirates here in the second.
Johnson from inside his own 10. Gets by one. Jumps over another. And out of bounds up at the 47. How many times are we going to see the returns like that?
Well, and you look at East Carolina here in the second half. They've had great starting position. The rushing yards tell a real story. Terry Gannon through the air.
So Pinckney's played the entire game, which is not the way they've gone throughout the season, but Cass comes on for the first time, hands it off. Chris Johnson dumps.
Your timeouts wisely.
Jeremy Chambliss came up with that big hit, then fell on the football. Johnson, if he could have gotten through that, there was no one in the secondary. But pass under center. Johnson cuts back. Ball is loose. Boise State's got the football. Hadman up with it. Bringing it back. He may go all the way. How about this? Touchdown Boise State. Can you believe that? Harris awaiting a line drive kick. It will be Chris Johnson at his own 10. Bringing it back across the 30. Still up, powering his way. Almost broke through up at the 39.